cool. I keep you under wraps like I was CIA. You were some covert mark. There's nothing as cold as the light of day when you're standing in the dark. You can have them hold your mail, you can turn the ringer off, pull the sheets over your head. Well, sooner or later you'll stop shooting yourself and shoot the moon instead. Never slowing down as Hudson curves around Horatio. Cabs are in a hurry for a fare. But summer being what it is, and this night's a beauty, folks just want to get a little air. The harder I listen, the less I hear. The more I search, the less I find. But it feels like love is one part lightning and two parts making up your mind. I start up the Chrysler and I point it east. Let's see how fast this baby goes. You know, it's often said the one you need the least is the one you want the most. But I'm getting tired of coming close. I'm tired of the chances I don't take. The thing about the heart that hurts the most is when you just can't feel it break. I swear when I drink, I'm cursed when I don't. Like everyone, I wanna be rich. But I guess it would be to stay in love. Yeah, that's it. If I had one wish. Thanks so much. Usually when people are full, they're not energetic. Thanks for digesting so quickly. I live in Brooklyn, New York now. I have been living there. I was born in New York City back in the day. I found don't hold it against me. It's tough being a Sox fan in New York City. I lived in Boston through the mid-'70s into the mid-'80s, and I developed a serious affinity for both the Red Sox and the Celtics. Those were the salad days. I just keep it under my hat sometimes when I'm in New York. Go to the stadium, it's like, yeah. I wrote this song quite a number of years ago, and it sounded like a standard from the 40s or 50s, and I tried to write a lyric to it and failed miserably. And tried a few times and gave it to someone else to try, and I put it away. I said, I guess it's not going to be a song. and pulled it out 11 years later and tried again and wrote this. It's called What Good Would That Do Me Now? I thought of all the words I might have said. You know, the ones that come into your head later on. But you become a stranger, and our love took its final bow. So what good would that do me now? So few prayers have risen from my lips. I feel we should be steering our own ships in these times. But if tonight gets any darker, I might send one up anyhow. But what good would that do me now? It's been so long, I hardly recognize the cold. The summer vine's gone brittle, the maples turning gold. I know how to survive this, that's not the mystery. What I want to know is there someone for me? Misjudged you. Hell, it's easy to have done. Even shards of glass can pass for diamonds in the sun. Could it be we never had that kind of love? When you think forever would still not be enough. No. Right now, I guess the only thing that's known is that it's time to learn to sleep alone again. But I'll hold you till the morning, or at least as long as dreams allow. What good would that do me now? What good would that do me now? Tony Bennett to sing that, but I'm a little late to that party. A friend of mine gave it a Diana Krall, maybe she'll do something. Here's a song about a dysfunctional relationship. I hope you cannot relate to either of these characters. She's coming today. She's not coming today. She's coming tomorrow. She's not coming tomorrow. Well, she might come on Friday. She'll see how she feels. She's coming on Saturday. I'm really so happy. I'm really not happy. We're gonna do something. We might not do anything. There's so many movies. She gets lots of headaches. She's coming on Saturday. She tried being Buddhist. Her friends got so angry. She practices yoga, tries to act calm, but no one believes her. They think she's a time bomb. Sometimes when she's talking, you think I was standing in the next county, not right next to her. She wishes that high school lasted much longer. She's coming on Saturday. She's staring at pictures of Hollywood couples. I don't think she owns a hardcover book. I sit and imagine her life without me. She'll pick out a husband who called her an angel when neither was sober and the music was loud. They'll buy a TV that takes up the whole room, and her husband won't drown her and then try to hide it by rolling her up in her favorite rug. She won't make the news, not even the local. Glug, glug, glug. Instead, I will focus on more of the good things. She's nice to the cat when it stays off the sofa, and now when I kiss her, she might leave the light on. She's coming on Saturday. She talks to her mother a lot for a grown-up, puts on her makeup to go to the beach, but her face doesn't help her when she goes to smile. Well, she hates talking dirty and thinks I'm a pervert who really doesn't know the first thing about love. I will take her to dinner, she'll eat next to nothing, but she's coming on Saturday. Saturday, like it or not, it seems to work. She's really so empty, I'm really a jerk. We fight like the Armenians and the Turks. To think that you care is just a little berserk. And I don't mean to offend with that last Turk line. I just needed to come up with some Irk rhyme. And these lines, you can tell I have not spent long. I figure why start now at the end of the song? So I'm leaving you here with these two lost souls who don't deserve A. We'll just call them B-holes. They deserve each other, but no more your time. So I'm freeing you from this conundrum of mine. Cause you might not get it, you might not see what this attraction could possibly be. I'm getting in touch with the masochist in me, and she's coming. Yeah, she's coming on Saturday.
I know it's a song.
apologize also. You never know where these songs come from. I was writing that. It took me forever. I wrote that lyric, and I don't know where that came from. And then it took a long time to find the music, which is usually not a problem for me. It's usually the opposite. And I tried everything. It just didn't seem to work. And then I was listening to a Mose Allison record. And I said, maybe this is the direction to go. And I thought it worked pretty well. I'm very happy to be traveling with Cheryl again. We have had to do it for a long time. She's had her ups and downs, which I'm sure she'll tell you about. And, we've known each other since 1976. We met at Salt Club in Newport, Rhode Island. And I was playing with Jonathan Edwards, and she was opening the show. Jonathan and I were out heading out to dinner, and we never got there because we said, let's listen to a song, let's listen to another one, and never left, and became a long relationship with Cheryl. That has nothing to do with this, except that she lent me her guitar. I produced 4 albums for a gentleman named Peter Wolf, also from this vicinity. His last 4 records, and the 5th one is almost finished, and so are his memoirs, which probably won't be out till next year, but I've read a few chapters and they're quite amazing, so something to look forward to. Anyway, I wrote this song about Peter. It's just called Who's Gonna Be the One. Brush against fate at least once a day. At night you tempt the ghosts of all the close calls. I can say love scared you the most. Your mother taught you to be tough. Your father showed you tender. But on their own, neither one's enough. Sometimes you fight, sometimes surrender. You're gonna be the one to save the day. Yes, I believe that's what you're here to do. But when the lamps go on and the day's work is done, who's gonna be the one to save you? You know your story and you know it well. You've walked with kings and bums. It's in between the lines you tell. That's where the real story comes. And with a diamond cutter's eye and nothing left to chance, you don't let a soul get by without at least a passing glance. You're gonna be the one to save the day. Yeah, I believe that's what you're here to do. And though you might lose a step, you'll never be outrun. But who's gonna be the one to save you? You hear the sound the hardwood makes, moans and creaks and it bites. I know those floors have felt the weight of 1,000 sleepless nights. Yeah, you do your best to change. They do their best to keep you silent. Well, you can carve into your deepest vein and still be stranded on Monkey Island. those who live by fair and just are bound to be laid low. Among the few you still can trust, John Coltrane, Hank Snow. So let's just raise a glass for them who time has frozen the page. Days gone by when men were men and all the world was not a stage. Gonna be the one to save the day. Yeah, I believe that's what you're here to do. But when the last drops of bourbon mix with the rising sun, who's gonna be the one to save you? Who's gonna be the one to save you? Thank you very much. Let's leave this the way Cheryl likes it. You don't want to piss her off. The song I wrote after spending too much time on the internet. I learned about a wedding crashed by rebels in New Delhi. I learned about a guy who stashed 3 kilos in his belly. I learned Amelia Earhart may in fact still be alive, and that killer bees in Sicily are learning how to drive. I learned my friends are two-dimensional, every secret written. You don't need to tap their phones, there's nothing left that's hidden. I learned that cats are cute, unless you happen to be a mouse. I learned it only takes a suit to be elected to the House. I spent the day in cyberspace. Contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes humanity. I learned the world's a lovely mystery, I'm glad to tag along. As soon as someone's sure they're right, that's when I'm sure they're wrong. I learned that it's a better thing to build a bridge than burn it. I learned that people talk to turn the other cheek, won't turn it. And that evidence and science, now at that we thumb our noses. The mention of a dying earth, the conversation closes. But pitchforks and streets of gold, that we're gonna swallow. Well, I learned not to judge, but pardon me if I don't follow. You can spend half your life tossing hopes into the air. 2 hands engaged in labor do more than 1,000 clasped in prayer. I spent the day in cyberspace. Contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes humanity. Well, I learned that looking good may have a lot to do with lighting. I learned about a war or two we had no business fighting. I learned the highest judges in the land can still be bought. I learned if you play footsie with the next stall, you'll be caught. And that you can repent once, but the second time you're toast. I learned the ones most guilty are the ones that yell the most. I learned that people cite the Constitution to their blue, when the only amendment that they know is number 2. Some try to save the unborn through their righteous megaphone, but God help you after the first breath you take on your own. I spent the day in cyberspace. Contagious insanity, here's to the human race and all of its vanity. I learned that people swallow metal things more often than I guess. I learned that less is more, and that I'm sure of more or less. I learned that even when you think you are, you're not alone. I learned that Walmart shoppers are a breed unto their own. I learned that music I detest has other people smitten. The only time I have agreed, worst lyric ever written. Horse with no name, plants and birds and rocks and things. Politic is now severely broken. I learned the best opinions are the ones that stay unspoken. Still I sing this song to you despite my own advice. Believe me, soon it will be over and I'll sing something nice. I learned we got a stack of bills and nothing left to pay them. No more things to say and now 100 ways to say them. And I learned all this in an hour here at Laptop College. So much information and so little knowledge. I learned we need to make time for our husbands and our wives. And now we're drifting far from what's important in our lives. Not you and me, I'll make your motor run, don't you ever doubt it. But baby, hurry up and come so I can tweet about it. Spend the day in cyberspace, contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes you. I spent the day in cyberspace, contagious insanity, as goes the human touch, so goes humanity. Appreciate that a lot. Trying not to read the internet before bed anymore. It's causing. Have a couple more songs to play you, and then Cheryl will be out, and I'll be out here with her again. So can't get rid of me. We have CDs for sale over in the corner. It's the Honor System. I've heard about it. Otherwise, there's somebody there. So. No, it's the Honor System. You're honorable people, are you not? How many people have CD players? A quarter of it. Well, you can read the lyrics and look at the pictures while you're streaming. What can we do? Can't keep up. I just got Tidal. I don't know if you know what Tidal is, but I can tell you right now, I'm not proselytizing or anything, but for 371 streams of a song of mine on Spotify, I make $1. It doesn't mean you shouldn't listen. I mean, it's good that it's available, but they just need to step up a little bit. That's 371 for $1. Yeah, that's something. But somebody's getting it. Here's a song off my latest record for sale up there. Latest record's called Long List of Priors. It's now 6 years old or so. This one I was anticipating the loss of someone very near and dear to me, and I wrote this. It's called The Other Shore. There is a time, early evening, the city shows its mercy. Lines are cast through the river glass as the sun sinks into Jersey. And on my left, the lady glints, the copper torch of liberty. On my right, the faded print of where you stood so near to me. Through window panes as thin as prayer, you can hear the peals of thunder. And I've spent hours sitting there, confusing love with hunger. Today my longing knows no limits. I'm held by what I cannot hold. Stay with me for just these few more minutes and keep me from the cold. Soon the car will come and take you, and I will have to let go for just one more chance. It's to make you laugh. I'd give the world, you know. I have not always shown my best. I've wounded those I most adore. But all is well, safely rest. I will meet you on the other shore. Thank you very much. This is a great audience, and I really appreciate it. You know, a lot of you don't know me, and I don't know you, but you made me feel really welcome here. And thanks to Bull Run for having me. My friend Jim Ryan had been telling me, you got to play the Bull Run sometime. I said, I don't know if I've ever been there. I think they've told me that I have been here. I'm forgetting things. Thank you, I appreciate that. Cheryl and I will come out and sign those CDs in the back that you're going to swarm to get. And I have a mailing list. Please sign my mailing list so you know when I'm back in the area. I think I'd like to be back sooner than later, so thank you very much. In my recurring dream, we have a daughter with a boyfriend with a mustache with a taste for younger women, like our daughter. And he has this little habit. When he tries to make a point, he points his finger, which if it had not been eaten by a table saw when he was 23, would really help to emphasize his point. Instead, we are distracted by the sight of the missing joint, and no one hears a word he says in my recurring dream. In my recurring dream, doesn't give a man a $20 bill. 'cause he likes Smokey Robinson, lives on the street, but still will never confuse the temptations with the miracles when he walks in the grocery and he hears them on the radio. And I'm sad he's on the street, but glad he can feel the thrill when Tracks of My Tears comes on, and then Blueberry Hill. So here's my $20 bill in my recurring dream. Yes, in my recurring dream, and this one comes too often. It's a plane filled with people with carry-on coffins, and I don't know all the rules regarding karma, but I suspect that when the good outweighs the bad, some automatic self-protect should kick in. But here you got this plane, and as it starts to rise, I can see the panic in every pair of eyes. The silent voices calling in slow motion, trapped, falling and falling. Wake up, you sleepyhead. Get up, get out of bed, cheer up. The sun is straight overhead. In my recurring dream, I was 11 when it started. I'm standing in my backyard shooting arrows at a target, while inside the house my mother, now remarried since last night's untimely death of my dad. She leans over the couch where he's still lying to kiss him. And it's not that we are ghoulish, it's just that we would miss him, so we leave him there a little while longer. And a good thing too, I guess, 'cause dying's made him stronger. And 3 days later he gets up to watch the news, and the news is often bad, and the news is often sad. I know a lot of us are happier when we're sad. Wake up, you sleepyhead. Get up, get out of bed, cheer up. The sun is straight overhead. In my recurring dream, I'm working with my brother. We are drawbridge operators and cannot see each other as we pull the ropes that raise the road. This cloud above me, it suddenly explodes into a million little lullabies that fall into my ears. They steal my attention, but they take away my fears. So when I slip off the rope and fall through the icy waves, I realize it's not Jesus, it's music that saves. And the fish swim by me with faces like goats. I sink into the darkness, but I still hear all the notes. In my recurring dream, I say what I feel like to anyone I feel like, and I don't care what they think of me. To any girl I feel like, and I don't care if she'll sleep with me. I like what I feel like, I like who I've come to be, and I'm locked into the moment, and I live with all my might, and I'm giving all I have, and I'm fearless of the night, and I'm trying to be hopeful, not holding on so tight, but I'm not giving up the fight. I'm not giving up the fight. In my recurring dream, I'm not holding on so tight anymore, no.
been in rehab for the last year or so, but I'm completely sober.
Yeah.
And it's been very challenging for my wife, but here we are. So, I'm seeing what your shirt says. So, I should have cut that fingernail. That's going to be unfortunate. This is a song that I don't ever remember when anything happened anymore. Good. I don't have any idea when anything happened. I could have been here last night. And that's true. But I wrote this. Kathleen and I had gone to have our wills drawn up. Yeah, that's what we had our wills done. And that's a weird, you know, well, if I die. So. If I die before you, I don't care what you do with the biology that used to be me, though I hope they don't sap me for morbid display, and I hope that you're happy, but not right away. Hey. The stuff in my closet, just jettison all. The pants are too short, the shoes are too small, the shirts are too big. What can I say? Time, sloth, and cannabis made me that way. Hey. Treat the guitars like the treasures they are. They still have secrets to tell. They may not know why I had to go, and they've always been loved very well. If I die before you, it might not be all bad. You can turn down the heat, you can turn up the ads, you can reset the toaster to maximum roast, and then butter the cinders you like to call toast. I will send you a message if ever I can, just to tell you I'm fine and it's not quite the end, or I might not be able. I might just be dead, or it might really be hot as they say. Please welcome this guy. See something? Huh? Hey, you know, I want to apologize to the sound guys because I forgot to put the boost on when I played the uke. So, you know, it'll be, and I will the next time I turn it on, so just know that it'll probably be pretty loud. Looking for my other pick here, sorry. This part takes a while. Let's see. This one. And this won't take more than 40 minutes. He's so old now. 72. Why, thank you very much. Yes.
Great.
Why, well, thank you very much. Great, my ass. I'm so elegant, aren't I? So, I'm going to try this one. I haven't done this song for a long time, but somebody very near to me asked me to do it. I'm going to give it a shot. I can take a little bit less of that. I think in Minnesota or Wisconsin, one of those. I think Minnesota. And I was driving from somewhere else. Imagine that. No, I think I was driving from a gig in Wisconsin back to a hotel in Minneapolis or something. Anyway, I came to the point where you go across the Mississippi River. I forget it might be Route 70. I don't know what it is anymore. And it was just so beautiful, and I felt so fortunate to be getting to do what I do and drive around the country, and this was a long time ago. And I mean, I wouldn't drive that far now. I'm just, are we in this here? But it was just such a beautiful drive, and I felt so fortunate to get to do. And that's right. I used to listen to the AM radio all the time this is a long time ago, and 1840. And I used to love AM radio because I'd find these really weird local stations, and I'd always seek out a station that played polkas because I thought they were fun to drive to. So. Yellow, dark blue sky, lighting up the mighty Mississippi, and I'm headed home. Can't decide if my heart is just too full or just too empty. Through the thousands of the rivers and hills and the highways I've come to know so well. I always knew I could fall back on you. Now it wouldn't matter which way I felt. Still it's nice to keep moving down the dotted line, past the tractors in their amber waves of grain. And if I keep my eyes open, take a little time, no two towns will ever look the same. Sometimes on the AM radio I get a little local polka show. Folks are friendly everywhere I go. I drank too much indeed, paid the whole next day. Snow in South Dakota was so dry it blew away. And it's not like someone's waiting when I get home anyway. So I leave for Portland pretty soon, then down through Monterey. But right now this big old yellow moon is filling up the sky and lighting up the mighty Mississippi. So yeah, I forgot that was also a breakup song, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm gonna do this stuff for a friend of mine tonight, and it's a song I don't do that often. It's a song I wrote about my cat Penrod. I wrote a lot of songs about Penrod, and Penrod was just the greatest, and he was a white cat for the first few minutes we had him. And then for the next 16 or so years, he was just a complete, utter slob. I mean, he would literally come with like slugs stuck in his fur and stuff. And he didn't care. He was just a complete slob. Unusual for a cat, I think, but I hope I remember this. It's been a while. was a white cat once, but when I roll around, I get all gray and brown, and it does not make sense to waste a busy day licking the dirt away, and I have staff for that, sent here to serve a cat. I let my fur get gray, and then I dock their pay. It's a brand new morning as I stretch and rise, and below to the table, they'll nibble on the kibble, shred a little sofa as I open my eyes. Yes, I got ratted, matted, messed up hair. This verbal furball does not care. I want to be the lord of the fleas, a saunter and a duo to please. So if you need seed key to be ungroomed, you just stay tuned to this Maine Coon. I was in the garden, taking the sun, checking out the bugs. Must have rolled on one. So I got this slug bug stuck to my fur real good. But I didn't really mind, just a little bit of slime. I'd find it later, you know, scratching my back. Be glad I saved it, making a nice little snack. I went inside, I swear the staff went insane, running with the comb and scissors, screaming my name. But I give them a quick slip, I don't make a sound. I get on their outfits and roll all around. My fur looks bad to me, all gray and askew. I think my staff should be displaying it too. And they got this 2-bit sand that they want me to use. Sometimes I don't mind, sometimes I refuse. Hey, I am me, I'm free. Independence rocks, this ain't no new craze to find ways to think outside the box. I'm really messy, hey, I like to be. And there's a testy old man inside of me. Just as I work and no plan wasn't meant to be. I sacrificed the feng shui, then try to be. I wasn't white cat, I wasn't white cat, I wasn't white cat once. I did that. I was watching TV one night and there was this show that came on, a science show. I want one that's already open. There's a mold in it. I can't open them anymore. I can't open them that well. So it was a science show, and the scientist's name was David Eagleman, and he was a brain scientist. And he was curious as to the origins of empathy. Why, when you see a person laughing or crying, often if you see a person crying, you'll cry. You'll start to cry a little bit. If you see a person laughing, you'll smile. And so he assumed that when you saw the person in a state of emotion, your brain said this is how they feel, and then you reacted to that. But he didn't know. So he sat a whole bunch of people down in front of computers, and he put electrodes on their heads and faces, and passed on the computer screens pictures of people in various states of emotion. And what he learned is that the very first thing that happens when you see a person crying or laughing is your face muscles twitch. Before anything else happens, your face muscles twitch. And that is the thing that causes you to feel empathy, which just blew me away because it is absolutely monkey see, monkey do. And it is, and that just blew me away. And then he did the same test with people who had had Botox. And what I didn't realize and learned when I watched that show is that many people who have had Botox treatments have to have them for medical reasons. It's not just, to look good. It's, because they have some sort of illness that their face won't hold still and they have to have these treatments. The people who had the Botox did not feel as much empathy and do not elicit as much empathy because their face muscles don't work the same way. So, that just killed me. And I don't have, I'm introducing the wrong song. I'll just do this song anyway. So I was just fascinated by this because, I don't know, it just blew me away. The whole monkey see, monkey do bit. So a show on, this key. A show on TV has dumbfounded me. Here's something you may want to know. When you're out and about, just a face in the crowd, the faces are running the show. And if you see someone crying today, the message will twit right away. It touches your heart, you play your part and find something kindly to say. There's no need to puzzle or ponder, no wondering, no worrying, no doubt. 'Cause your face is your first responder, taking it in, sorting it all out. So if you're crying, I'm crying too. No matter, I've never met you. And make no mistake, it's hard to take my face telling me what to do. What if the signals got crossed and somehow the whole system broke? You'd laugh if you saw someone crying, cry if they told you a joke. Assuming the science is true, seems monkey see, monkey do. Computers and chips inform us, our lips are what make me smile when you do. Computers and chips inform us, our lips are what make me smile when you do. Isn't that neat? So the song I was gonna play before I introduced that one was, I don't have any hard and fast, I mean nowhere close to any hard and fast notions as to what the higher powers might be. I don't question that there's a higher power, there better be, or we are in big trouble. But I don't know whether the higher power is any more interested in me than it is in a blade of grass. And I am chronic now, more and more all the time, like in the sober house where I am, if there's a bug anywhere, they get me and I go, come take it outside. Or if it's cold, I put it in the basement. And I just think all life is a complete miracle. We don't have any idea why anything's alive. So anyway, I was thinking about all that kind of stuff and I just wrote this song. Speeding, sailing, spinning through the firmament, and the firmament is speeding somewhere too. So beautiful the mystery, we gaze aloft in wonder at all the pieces we can see, at all the stars we're under. And here on earth we praise what God has done, and every church proclaims the only one. Ants and elephants have lives to run, and all the plants are pointing at the sun. Who and what and where and why and how and when, I don't have a whisper of a clue. Do fishes ever look beyond the tank they're in, and somehow contemplate creation too? I don't expect to understand the question so beyond us, the mystery humbling and wondrous. Here on earth we praise what God has done, and every church proclaims the only one. Ants and elephants have lives to run, and all the plants are pointing at the sun. If atoms zip around too fast for us to see, and somewhere we are zipping that way too, then some colossal junior high school nerd might be adding 1 to 1 and getting 2 through eyes the size of galaxies, blinking once in the eon. He's pondering a particle big enough to be on. And here on earth we praise what God has done. Every church proclaims the only one. Ants and elephants have lives to run, and all the plants are pointing at the sun. Ants and elephants have lives to run, and all the plants are pointing at the sun. Well, what I should have told you, but I haven't worked for, I'm just don't really have it together. That song, that whole bit in the song about some colossal junior high school nerd might be. I was sitting in a science class in like 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, and there was a picture on the wall of the solar system, and then there was a picture on the wall of an atom, and back then they looked the same. It was a circle with, I don't know what they look like now. And so I was thinking, wow. I thought, what if atoms are like solar systems in the next size up? What if our solar system is an atom in the next size up? And then I imagined this huge, unimaginably huge, enormous 8th grader doing the same thing in his science classroom that I was doing in mine, and hence, that's all. Thank you. Let's do, well, since I did that, we talked a little bit about religion. I'll do this one too. This is I was reading an article, this is, 10 million years ago, in Huffington Post about, do you remember the Westboro Baptist Church? Remember those people? Yeah. They were those horrible people. There were like 25 people in the whole church. And they carried signs that said, God hates fags, and God hates you, and God hates everybody. And they were at a Lady Gaga concert. And that certainly caught my attention. And of course they were there to protest, but still, just the whole idea that they were at a Lady Gaga concert. And so the guy who was the head of the church guy, I mean, the church, they're just full of hate. They always, would say that the only people that were going to heaven were them, which didn't really do much for their cause because it made the rest of us glad we weren't going. Truly, let's go. What did Mark Twain say? I'll take heaven for the climate and hell for the society. So, well, anyway, so the Westboro Baptist Church was the old guy that was the head of the whole thing. There was a quote in the article from him, and I don't remember what it, blah, 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 what it said, but at the end of it, he said something about Lady Gaga's less than beautiful singing program. And I loved calling what Lady Gaga does a singing program. I love Lady Gaga. And I was I imagine it was very intentional language, intended to do the same thing that religious clothing might do, If you're going to call what Lady Gaga does, a singing program, then you obviously haven't been to a show since the 1400s. So, but still, I thought, well, I have to write a song called Lady Gaga's singing program. How do you, that must be done. But I wanted to get some language, so I went to their website, and I thought it would be funny, and it wasn't even funny. But I got, if there's some of this language sounds biblical, I don't know what it means either, but it's on their website. This is my song, written from the viewpoint of the Westboro Baptist Church, which I hope to write to sound like a hymn. It's called Lady Gaga's Singing Program. Up on the stage, the devil's proud whore, bringing the demons straight to your door. The righteous and right indignantly dead. Lady Gaga singing program. We'll shake off the dust and open the gates to the long list of stuff that God really hates. And strong among these, from where we all stand, is Lady Gaga's singing program. We shall strike a blow unto the demon's smile. We have taken forth the precious from the vine, and surely of the beast and not the lamb is Lady Gaga's singing program. The Lord sits and stares out over his knees, disgusted with nearly all that he sees, with the wicked and low confounding our land, and Lady Gaga's singing program. Lady Gaga's singing program. You want to sing that with me? Lady Gaga's singing program. And one more. Lady Gaga's singing program. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I wrote that, and I guess I put a video or something out. It was possible to see it, and a friend of mine got in touch with me and said, the Westboro Baptist Church heard your song, and they have commented about it on the website or something. So I went to look at the comment, and it said, the very talented Cheryl Wheeler has written this, and I realized they didn't get it. They didn't get it. And I was like, how is that possible? And then the next day, their website had taken off that comment about me, and they said, this angry dyke, Cheryl Wheeler. That's guilty. This is a song that I wrote centuries ago. I wish I could fall in love. It all leads to trouble. Oh, I know it does. Still I'd fool myself and gladly just to feel I was in love. Wish I could feel my heart beat right and gaze into some gentle, warm, excited eyes, and give myself as truly as an arrow flies in windless skies. Oh, I remember you in the TV light, and holding you close to me where we lay. Now I wish
softer nights, whispering quietly, feeling you turn to me. Only last night in the winter dark, I dreamed of how you loved in all your innocence, and I've never known a softer, warmer feeling since, or a truer heart. And maybe these dreams are leading me. Maybe love is not as gentle as my memory. Maybe time and wishful, half-remembered fantasy are the greatest part. Oh, but I remember you in the TV light, and holding you close to me where we lay. Now I wish I knew some of those softer nights, whispering quietly, feeling you turn to me. Wish I could feel my heartbeat right, gaze into some gentle, warming silence, give myself as truly as an arrow flies in windless skies. Oh, I wish I could fall in love. Well, it only leads to trouble. Oh, I know it does. Still, I'd fool myself and gladly just to feel I was in love.
Guaranteed to forget. I wrote this song a long time ago, after the Jonesboro, Arkansas event. Maybe it's the movies, maybe it's the books, maybe it's the bullets, maybe it's the real crooks, maybe it's the drugs, maybe it's the parents, maybe it's the colors everybody's wearing, maybe it's the president, maybe it's the last one, maybe it's the one before that one he done, maybe it's the high schools, maybe it's the teachers, maybe it's the tattooed children in the bleachers, maybe it's the Bible, maybe it's the lack, maybe it's the music, maybe it's the crack, maybe it's the hairdos, maybe it's the TV, maybe it's the cigarettes, maybe it's the family, maybe it's the fast food, maybe it's the news, maybe it's divorce, maybe it's abuse, maybe it's the lawyers, maybe it's the prisons, maybe it's the senators, maybe it's the system, maybe it's the fathers, maybe it's the sons, maybe it's the sisters, maybe it's the moms, maybe it's the radio, maybe it's road rage, maybe El Nino or UV rays, maybe it's the army, maybe it's the liquor, maybe it's the papers, maybe the militia, maybe it's the athletes, maybe it's the ads, maybe it's the sports fans, maybe it's a fad, maybe it's the magazines, maybe it's the internet, maybe it's the lottery, maybe it's the immigrants, maybe it's taxes, big business, maybe it's the KKK and the skinheads, maybe it's the communists, maybe it's the Catholics, maybe it's the hippies, maybe it's the addicts, maybe it's the art, maybe it's the sex, maybe it's the homeless, maybe it's the banks, maybe it's the clear cut, maybe it's the ozone, maybe it's the chemicals, maybe it's the car phone, maybe it's the fertilizer, maybe it's the nose rings, maybe it's the end, but I know one thing. If it were up to me, I'd take away the gun. I'd take away the gun. I'd take away the song, I think Burt Bacharach was a great songwriter. The way I look at it. He had his weak points, apparently. This next song was a big hit for Burt and Cal, I guess. Really a big hit in the 60s. And, you know, you're probably thinking it was maybe it had something to do with, you know, protesting. No, it didn't. If you didn't know how old you are, if you're my age, I can't believe that this song, I mean, this was a huge hit. There are, I think, something like 14 different, at the last time I looked, it was at least 14 different artists had recorded it. 114. Oh, 114. Okay, yeah, I mean, really, a lot of, this song was recorded by everybody. I mean, it was a big, huge hit. And little girl, comb your hair, fix your makeup, soon he will open the door. Don't think because there's a ring on your finger, you needn't try anymore. For wives should always be lovers too. Run to his arms the moment he comes home to you. I'm warning you. Day after day, there are girls at the office, and men will always be horned up men. Don't send him off with your hair still in curlers. You may never see him again. For wives should always be lovers too. Run to his arms the moment he comes home to you. He's almost here. Little girl, better wear something pretty, something where to go to the city and dim all the lights, pour the wine, start the music. Time to get ready. Time to get ready for love. When you listen to her, I think they were going to call it Hey Baby Drop Trowel, but then they decided that wives and lovers would be, I'm going to do this one and then we'll be done with uke. I loved it. Uke was the first instrument I ever played, although I mean, when I was 10, I found a uke and I loved it, started playing the uke. So, but by the time I was 12, I got a guitar. But I have had dogs my whole life. I adore dogs and cats and bugs and flies. I do actually really like flies. I love flies. I do. You know, I've never told an audience or something, but I was at my sober house and I looked down and there was a fly on my leg. So I put my hand down there and I'm like, please get on my finger, and he did. Slowly raised it. And he must not have felt threatened. He stayed on my finger for 3 or 4 minutes. And I just watched him clean himself the whole time. And I thought, he obviously doesn't feel threatened, which made me happy. And and then I thought, well, people say flies are dirty. And then I thought, yeah, well, we've killed 20 million of each other with the virus. I'm not going to worry if he has poop on his feet. So anyway, it's one of the high points of my life, me and that fly. So, but Kitty was my Jack Russell Terrier, and oh my God, she was just a magnificent dog. Aren't they all? Yes. But she, oh my God, I loved this little girl, and she lived to be 16, and this is a little song I wrote about her. She can capture me every single time, even if she's snoozing through the morning.
I could hardly be more adored and inclined to see her face all blinky-eyed and young. In this world of amazements, it still blows my mind how the life in this creature can mean so much to mine. Oh, fortunate soul, with so much I am blessed. For such joys I am grateful, and none more than this. Racing out the doors, flying down the stairs, Mrs. Muscles rolls around, legs up in the air, and quiet on the couch, winter afternoon, I come upon her sleeping and testify swoon. And she is no way the first, she is no way the last. They proceed through my memory, a star-studded cast. They are teaching me something, I don't have it quite, but if I keep on listening, one day I might. She's an elder now, spring has worn to spry, soft and gray of snout, and slightly blue of eye, with her ears reclined to meek. Anyone can see that I've become accustomed to her leaning into me. Oh, I've become accustomed to her leaning into me. Thanks. I do like preachers. Well, let me see, where are we? Set. I don't have any idea what time it was when I started. That would be a nice thing to know. Was it around 9 o'clock? Do we know?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. No, was it or not? You don't know? Better not. What?
I say life is of the essence and all we have is time.
Well, all right. Remember that the next time I'm in traffic trying to get to Providence. Just kind of going around picking. I'm not going in my usual order. This is another song I wrote in Minnesota. I don't know where I was, but I went to Minneapolis. I'm always happy when I'm in Minnesota. I've noticed that. I don't know why, but I always am. And I mean, I wouldn't want to live there in it, but I always feel good when I'm in Minnesota. Politically, I like to be where I am, but so I get to my room, I check into the hotel and go up to my room, and I was happy and everything, and I stepped into the room and it was sad in this room. I stepped back out in the hall, it was not sad in the hall, it was sad in the room, and I really felt that strongly. And I felt like there was some little sad feeling that had been left in the room by the last guest. And I felt sorry for the poor little feeling, because, feelings were supposed to be in people, and this one had been abandoned by its owner. But I really did, it was a strange feeling, and I sat down on the bed and I said, you can come be in me, little sad thing, and I'm in a good place, and then we'll both be okay. And that's what it felt like happened, and I wrote this song about it.
No reason, I guess, no dark and troubled time, just a loneliness some traveler left behind, and it had no place to be, so it crept inside of me. But I don't mind, and it nestled right in, just to hang its head and cry for the cold north wind and for the wide white winter sky. There'll be no brave face to keep till it's cried itself to sleep. So I won't try. And when it wakes up, I'll explain how winter always leads to spring, how even when our skies are blue, we need a little lonely too, to keep our hearts stretched open wide, to touch the edge of either side. So I'll keep it right here, this little lonely thing. I'll lend my ear, be kind and comforting. It's the least that I can do, because I've been lonely too, lonely too. And no reason, I guess, no dark and troubled time, just a loneliness some traveler left behind.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm thinking I'll be right with you. Oh, I know, I'll do this. I don't know what made me think of this song. But this is just a goofy song, take 2 seconds to sing. But I was driving somewhere, maybe out to the Midwest, when I heard this story came on the radio. And these two guys were fishing in the Passaic River in Hackensack, New Jersey. And one of the fishermen reeled his thing in, and there was a human nose on his hook. So they called the police, and the police came in, and they discovered that this big bag of body parts had been, bodies had been put in the Passaic River, and then the bag opened. And so they investigated, and they found this person who did it. He was a Russian immigrant. And so my first thought was, well, maybe, he killed people, and he put them in a bag, and maybe he was just following directions because he did it in Hackensack, New Jersey. And that killed me. I'm like, oh my God, he did it in Hackensack. So that just killed me. It killed me. So anyway, I don't know why the story struck me as funny, but it did. And so this was the song I wrote as I was driving. They found a nose at the bottom of the river, and it was running, as rivers will do. And near the nose at the bottom of the river, they found some lips and an ear or two.
They don't know who the owner was, or so the radio said. Has anyone recently seen or heard from Mr. Potato Head?
Sorry about the people that got murdered, but hey, it's funny, you know? Well, we'll see. I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done anything in a while, This is a song I wrote. Kenny and I have been traveling and working together for many, many years now, and it is. I don't even like that to do any gigs without him anymore. He's just one of my best friends. He's probably my best friend. He is, and we have a great time together. We are always laughing and carrying on, and we just. I don't think we've ever had an argument. We just get along great, and he does exactly as he's told. Now we really get along great. We have a really good time, and I have taken to jokingly calling him my husband. Certainly, that's as close to having a husband as I'm ever going to get. Turns out I liked it a lot more than I thought I might. So, we were in some casino hotel that was gross. We couldn't believe we were fried. We hated this hotel. We couldn't believe we had to be in it. And you remember that when I was in 8th grade, which maybe you don't remember that, but there was a cologne that became very popular all of a sudden for the boys called English Leather. And all the boys smelled of English leather all the time, and then it disappeared from the face of the earth. And now we know where it went. It went to the casino hotel in Northern California because everything in this gross place smelled like English leather. It was horrifying. So we were absolutely fried, and we just couldn't wait to get out of there. And the morning we were leaving, I called home to my wife, and she was not feeling well, and she was in a very cranky little mood, and I mean, with good reason. She, I hadn't been home for a long time, and she didn't feel good. But anyway, so we had a little cranky conversation, she and I. And then a few minutes later, when I hooked up with Kenny in the lobby, I made a comment to him, which struck us both like, oh my God, that sounds like a country song title, except it could never be, ever. So that was a challenge, to write a country song that could never be. So I gave it a shot. Out here on the road, it is just suitcase and guitar. We mostly love the shows and laugh our heads off in the car. And my darling sweetie's sick at home, our calls all trouble and strife. And so now I like my husband better than my wife. Now darling, I know you know this is just a quirky line, a ploy to turn someone's cabriolet into yours and mine. And we don't even need to keep the rhyming too precise. And now I like my husband better than my wife. And we'll make it on to hats and t-shirts, bumper stickers too. We'll hear insider rumors about him and me and you. I talked to Kathleen that night and told her that I'd written that song, and she loved it. I'm thinking I would do that. Okay, all right, I'll do this because I said I would. I guess I said I would. I don't know why. Oh, no, I don't have to. That's right. We said I did. Let's do a depressing song instead. Yes. I was going through a. Let me hear that. To do. I already forget. Oh yeah, I was in I was on the E-Town radio show, which is a show that I think they did in Boulder, Colorado, or it was either Boulder or Denver, and I had done it a bunch of times, and I was going through a big breakup, and I was real sad and everything. So I'm sitting there on the sofa, feeling sad and everything, and I realized, I thought, yeah, get going, you gotta get ready, you gotta go on. So I stood up quickly to, get my shit together, and I thought to myself, get a move on, life is short. And as I stood up, I heard myself say, yeah, but the days and nights are long. And I was so like, boy, that's true. So anyway. Oh yeah, it was definitely in Boulder because the name of the song was Boulder Hotel Room. Oh yeah. But that's not what they call it on the record. It's called something else.
Well, life is short, but the days and nights are long. Time will heal all these wounds. Someday soon I'll be rising, I'll be strong. But now I'm losing all my battles, and now I'm in dropping still, and this sun's blowing through like some ghost with this blue I know too well. Broken hearts keep on beating just the same. So I guess I can too go through these blues, facing forward, walking straight. But now the glance keeps drifting downward, and now my feet can't find their way through this cold, creeping in through my bones, whispering it's here to stay. So I bide my time, like there's any other way. It moves too slow, moves too fast, it's gone and past and stopped entirely today. I know there's a light on some horizon, but I can't see so far ahead. Patience and grace, blessed is love. I'm losing my faith in most of that stuff those wise men said. of that stuff those wise men said. Life is short, but the days and nights are long.
This is the fake last song. Is this the fake last song? Yeah. What we're supposed to do is do the fake last song, get up and walk over there, then act surprised and come back here and sit down and now, and if you feel that's presumptuous, it is. But the presumption does not lie with me thinking we're fabulous, but with knowing that you are. And the audience will always ask for another song. We're happy to do another song. It's the leave and come back part that's not going to be happening. Okay? I'm old. I'm old, and when I'm finished, when we're done, I'm still not getting up and leaving right away. You are. I'm going to sit here, put some things away, and organize some things and stuff. But, so this is the fake last song, and then we're going to pretend, and then... I wrote this song to my dad at the approach of his 75th birthday, which at the time I thought, oh my gosh, 75, now I'm 72, and I'm like, oh, so what? At the time, I certainly felt differently about it. And my father was born on September 7th of 1915. And if you turn those numbers around, I was born in 51, and he was born in 15. And I was just thinking of what a milestone that was in his life, his 75th year. And anyway, it's a song I wrote about it.
In the year of the yellow cat, shadow of the great world war, the third kid Grandma had came into this world on a rolling farm in Maryland when Wilson was the president, as summer blew her goodbye child of changing time, growing up between the wars. Fords rolled off the line, and bars all closed their doors. And I imagine you back then with snap-brim hat and a farmer's tan, where horses drew their wagons through. Now the fields are all forests, and the moon's not just a name. Are you more amazed at how things change, or how they stay the same? Do you sit here on this porch and wonder how the time flies by? Or does it seem to barely creep along? With 75 Septembers coming on. Child of changing time, growing up between the wars. Fords rolled off the line. Bars all closed their doors. I imagine you back then with snap-brim hat and the farmer's tan where noses blew their wagons through the fields. Now the fields are all forelands, and the moon's not just a name. Are you more amazed at how things change, or how they stay the same? And do you sit here on this porch and wonder how time flies by? Or does it seem to barely creep along? With 75 Septembers come and go. Were the fields all golden fall? Was the spring house dark and cool? Did the rooster crow at dawn when they got you up for school? And would you tell me once again the tales of granddad's hired men, and how they drove the old dirt road to town? But now the fields are all forelands, and the moon's not just a name. Are you more amazed at how things change, or how they stay the same? And do you sit here on this porch and wonder how the time flies by? Or does it seem to barely creep along? With 75 Septembers come and go. In the year of the yellow cat, shadow of the Great World War,
Ladies and gentlemen, Cheryl, show her love. You gotta do better than that. She's not gonna come back from downstairs unless you really get up and do it for her. Come on. Cheryl Wheeler.
Oh no, that's not necessary. Please, don't. I'm sorry if I did my verse twice. I'm old and I forget everything, but it's great to be back in LA. So this is a song that I was driving somewhere on the West Coast, and I realized that the next day was Penrod's 15th birthday. So I called home and said, "Hey, Kathleen, tomorrow's Penrod's birthday, because we like to do something special for him on my birthdays, give him a shrimp or a meatball or something like that." And the dogs, they're totally wised up to this. The dogs, now we get up every morning, the dogs are handing each other birthday cards and looking at them. Anyway, so I said, "Hey, don't forget it's Penrod's birthday, do something special for Penrod." And I got a message back from her that just said, "Well, that explains the big party in the backyard. The tent, the cake, the band, the headless mice." Well, I love that whole idea, except for the part about the mice being headless. I thought they would yes at the party, but we thank you. I'm sorry that I sang a verse, but we thank you so much. You guys have been an absolutely wonderful audience, and we are very happy to be back here. And I'm going to, we're going to leave you with this one, and then, as has already been explained, you're getting up and leaving. I'm not. So, the next day, after all the phone conversations and stuff, I had a long drive on the West Coast and spent the whole day writing the song. On my cat's birthday, the mice did sway and squirrels did dance around. Dogs went nuts when they heard such fuss, hustled out to party down. The little birds tap danced all around the ants, moving in a conga line. Weasel band played, ladybugs made, crocus and azalea wine. Sitting at the tables in their pirate blouses, guess they got the furniture from out of their houses. Out back at the volleyball, toads had the part you ever recall. Crows showed up in a cop outfits, holsters sliding off their hips. Deer knocked back by the garden shed, turkey scratched in the flower bed. On my cat's birthday, the birthday cake was several stories high. Cats ate down along the ground, birds ate in the sky. Oh, and the squirrels ate too from the edge of the roof until they finally jumped right in. But the band played on till the cake was gone, we'll never see another again. The cabinet came and it all went south. Where did that goldfinch hit that mouth? Dogs grabbing over bones they buried. A rabbit and a robin got married. Band started singing about love so deep. Guess Giovanna drifted off to sleep, curled around another old cat dream, and that's how Penrod turned 15. We'll see you next time. Good night.